Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
Where we give you the courtesy of conversation.
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. So what's going on, man? How you doing today?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right.
I feel like we're doing a lot better than all the people making money off TikTok right now. I bet they sweating. Yo, I'm going to read this to everybody. The House approved a bill Wednesday that would force TikTok's parent company to sell the juggernaut social media app or face a partial ban in the U.S.
Well, I mean, what you think about that?
So the whole thing is, first of all, they want to say, TikTok is owned by a Chinese company in Beijing. Mm-hmm. I think they have the name here. We can come at, it's called ByteDance, the parent company. So first of all, they're like, they're selling all the information. You're giving all your information free to China. And America's like, only we get to collect our information and use it against you. I mean, but the real reason a lot of people are saying is because it's not owned by America, so they can't stop the free the Palestinians and stop the war in Gaza stuff. Because that's the number one thing on TikTok right now. And so the people are feeling that the American government is trying to shut it down because they don't want Israel to look any worse than they already are looking.
You think that it's just, I mean, they've done this. This was, remember when Trump was in office?
Yeah, they wanted because it was owned by a Chinese company.
Same thing.
But they see the power in that.
This is just the same thing. I think at the same time, too, that you have to realize that on TikTok, if you go to Chinese TikTok, this is from what I hear.
No, I've seen it. You go to Chinese TikTok, the kids are only allowed to be on it for an hour, and it's all educational.
Exactly. And what they've spewed to us is exactly what we want to see. But at the same time, this is where freedom comes back to bite you in the ass, too, at the same time. This is where, even when you have like your free and fair elections, not to get off the point, but you allow campaign finances to come in from anywhere. This is the kind of thing that happens to you when you have the type of economy and the type of freedom that we have here. They can flood us with disinformation, and this is how they it's almost like what we did during the Arab Spring. But
I'm like, what's next? Twitter. They're gonna stop Temu? It's the same thing. Temu's an own Chinese company, and it's collecting all your data too.
But it's different. That's different though, because this is facial recognition. They're giving people, they're basically telling them everything. They're giving them all kind of information. What TikTok is just so much bigger. It's not like a shopping site, so you're not just there just picking up and clicking on what you want to buy. It's like your people's whole entire lives are on TikTok right now.
Yeah, they're making money.
Did you see, like, I think during the one of like a congressional hearing or a Senate judiciary committee or some type of Senate hearing where they had the guy from Singapore. What is he?
Oh, they were like
executives from
and there was a question they kept thinking he was from. No, that was
they don't think he was from China. They don't think he was from China. He's asking him what's his ties to China, which is to me, that's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with something with this type of power and this type of context in American life every single day, like everybody's on TikTok pretty much. At least all of our young people.
They're all on there.
A really a strong influence on American everyday life. That's a legitimate question. He kept on saying, "No, Senator, I'm from Singapore." But
who was it? Tom Cotton? Was he the senator?
I think it might have been.
Because he's having an issue right now where he demands the Pentagon to explain how the Chinese tutoring company infiltrated the homes and classrooms of military families and their children.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, this stuff is serious business, man. Especially when you're dealing with that much information, that much. You cannot have a power who doesn't even want to we can't even buy land over in their country. I don't even know if we can, there's not a lot of ways we can invest in that country to truly own anything. They want, every time an American company goes over there, they want you to give them your proprietary information, all kinds of stuff, trademark, it's just,
well, the thing is, America, they had a general come out and he was saying, my bad to interrupt you. No, they had a general come out and he was saying, look, we'll be at war with China in the next less than 5 years. It's going to happen. Remember, they sent the balloon over and nobody knew what it was.
Well, we knew what it was, probably. I feel like we did. I mean, there's no way.
Oh, excuse me. Nobody saw it until it got to like the Midwest, which is wild. That's kind of embarrassing.
I mean, that's tough. You got to look at Canada, too, at the same time. I mean, did it come from Canada? Did it come from Canada's end? They didn't catch it either. But all in all, man, I kind of understand where they're going with this.
Yeah.
Like, this is a country that is very, very, private about everything that they want done. But they want all of your stuff to be able to go over there and do business. When you start treating countries to act like that, the same exact way,
we should. Chinese have been coming over here. That not all of them, but they've been coming over here and destroying our agriculture. Also, we have the killer wasps that are up here. They brought fish to certain rivers where it's like they have the rivers where the fish are in there, and you go to your motorboat and they start jumping out the water. They're like destroying the natural species.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It's like plants, all kind of stuff. It's like, you destroy from the inside, and then also at the southern border.
I mean,
they're the highest immigrant group coming in right now.
They're one of them. We had the same discussion.
Yeah, we should did.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
We have a lot of discussions offline that people need to go. We're going to start recording them and giving you guys a little more insight into that as well.
Yeah.
But I'm like, at the end of the day, man, I see the point. and everyone's trying to make that out to be like a racist thing that he was asking the guy from Singapore those questions. But what he was doing is I'm putting you on record saying that this isn't true. I'm not going to just, oh, okay, I'm sorry. No, man, this is like government secrets. This is like top level clearance.
Nah, bro, he's mad racist. It was mad racist.
We all need to know about this shit, man. Period. We need to know what your intentions are, because we see what you guys are doing with the app in your country, and we see what you're bringing to us. Everything's about dumb shit, the dumbest new dance, the dumbest thing you can possibly do to go viral, and that's what you're putting in our face every single day.
But that's what we like to watch.
It's what we're asking for. I'm gonna give it to it. I'm gonna give it to you, but I guarantee you they're putting that more on there than anything else.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, it's gonna. Yeah, algorithms run a lot of stuff. That's why the music you hear today is propaganda to the youth. Yeah, all the TV programs and all the stuff. Like, you could be on YouTube and just watching some video, and the next thing that pops up is all part of the algorithm. And I understand. Yeah, no, the Chinese TikTok is educational, but you send that to America, nobody would watch it. Nobody care about education.
I don't think it's even about like just being all educational. I think it's about having a balance. Some kind of there's no balance at all. Do something where a person's like, oh shit. I mean, I watch certain shit that's like that I catch on to, and I might see and like, oh, that's okay. That might work for me a little bit. Like where there's a lady I think she might have been a lawyer or something like that, but she'll give you different tricks to be able to get airline points or get money.
I've seen that lady before.
I mean? So I mean, this is kind of put that kind of shit in there too. Don't just give us a whole kids all day dumb shit.
Yeah, no, I watch a guy that does
that might be kind of cool, but at the same time, they know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays I'm older. I watch a guy that he builds terrariums. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like he can make a whole ecosystem inside of a jar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I watch videos like that. I'm like,
and there's stuff like that they could give to kids that they would like to. That's kind of,
but it's all about.
But they're like, no,
it's all about what you want to watch.
We want to give you as much bullshit. We don't get to see.
I want to watch the Jerry Springer show in 30 seconds.
I feel you.
That's exactly what it is.
I mean,
that's what we want to watch
right there. But I mean, I do believe that we need to crack down on TikTok and figure out. I don't think we should get rid of it. That's crazy. I mean, that takes.
No, they just want to own it. They want that information. That's all it is.
I think they just want to be partial on it or something.
They just want the information. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember when Donald Trump was president, he passed a law where it was okay to sell our information. That's when you started getting all those scam calls, started getting all crazy emails and stuff. Yeah, that's why, like, now you be sitting there just thinking about something, and it pops up on your phone.
That shit been going on for years. That shit was going on before that.
It bothers me.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, man, why don't they show me videos how to make $20,000? He'd be like, hey, you want to make $20,000 in a week? I'm like, that's not what I wanted. But they gave me what I wanted, but it's not what I wanted. So, well, I mean, speaking of like wild and stuff right now, Ron DeSantis, because of the situation in Haiti, he said he's going to deploy Florida State Guard to stop the Haitian migrants.
Okay.
You know, so Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has announced the deployment of over 250 additional officers and soldiers from the Florida State Guard Division of Emergency Management and Law Enforcement Agency to the state's southern coast amidst concerns the political situation in Haiti could spark a new wave of illegal immigrants. Now, the government already said, it's low. It's like maybe only 10% of the immigrants are coming in through Florida.
Yeah.
You know, so what, I mean, are you going to stop the Cubans too?
He's just, I mean, at the end of the day, he's following the train that all the rest of those Southern or Republican Southern states are following about the border and the border crisis, trying to make everything out to be a crisis. When in reality, I mean, Haiti is a crisis because of America. Really. I mean, we should be giving them some kind of like refugee status anyways. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion. That's what I think.
Well, remember they tried to come through the Texas border and they got the picture of the one guy on the horse whipping them. Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, that's how they do.
They're like, that picture's out of context, like Houseway.
Exactly.
How?
You know what I mean? And so Ron DeSantis is just, to me, he's a race baiter, man. He's been doing this stuff for a long time. To me, I don't trust him. He's been a race baiter in my eyes since he said no more monkeying around. When he said that to what's the guy's name, man? I can't remember.
Man, he took all the AP classes, African American AP classes out of the college.
You know what he was doing. I mean,
yeah, but obviously, Ron DeSantis right now, bro, he took such a bad shellacking from Donald Trump in those primaries. Mm-hmm. That he got to do something to, you know, I mean, he got whooped up.
He can't. He's not He's not presidential when it comes to. I mean, he's great for Florida. He's good for Florida politics. I mean, he can beat those guys down there all he wants to. But you're not a president. You're like a robot. He stood up there. He
got a cry smile, like,
you know what I
mean. For real. Next time you see him smile, everybody look at him. He got a cry smile. Like, he smiles. He looks like he's about to start crying.
Yeah, Florida, pretty much, man. I don't see how. So you think that they have a lot more diversity down there, the way that they're going with all their laws and things of that nature. It's like it's hard for me to fathom how they're getting to that point.
It's not, that's the whole thing of like, you can't, like, for me, it's like, so there's people that like Donald Trump and they're not racist. They just like what he talks about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There's people in Florida that like Florida. They're just not racist. But, when you're outnumbered by so many votes and your government can do whatever they want to do, you kind of like, he's kind of taken over. He's trying to like be a Florida dictator because he didn't win the election anyways. He kind of stole it. Donald Trump admitted he stole. He's like, look, he's like, you're in there because I told them to stop counting votes.
Who? You talking about DeSantis?
Donald Trump said that's DeSantis.
I mean, how the hell can Donald Trump tell someone to stop counting votes?
He was president at the time.
I mean, that has nothing to do with Florida. For him in Florida.
He's like, hey, I called down there. Hey, man, that's real information. You can look that up.
I believe you.
That's in Google. Yeah.
But I mean, Donald Trump's he takes credit for everything. He doesn't want to take credit for the losses. That's the kind of person he is. But Santos, man,
he's like the political soldier boy. He did it first.
You feel me? But like I say, DeSantis, man, he's a joke in my eyes, man. He's ruined Florida. He's turned Florida into a place where it's okay to pretty much look at everything from a skewed point of view.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I don't like to use racism as a like offshoot to everything that goes on.
But you call it duck a duck.
Absolutely.
It's what you got to do. I mean, if they're doing it on purpose, I just hate quiet racist people. I mean, like, if you don't be racist, just be racist. The country's split so much, it's profitable.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Unless you're slinging Bud Light.
I mean, it's profitable for some people to even go against their own people at the same time. You look at it, but you got one over here. There's these guys over here. He said this. Well, I mean, you're going to find somebody that's going to do it for the money. The money is going to move anybody.
So how do you feel the campaigns are going right now? Because, I mean, I feel like both of them are kind of saying some wild stuff. Like, first of all, Donald Trump came out and he was like, yo, civil rights or the Civil War could have been negotiated. They could have worked something out. Like, what do you don't have to work your slaves on the weekends? You know what I'm saying? You got to give them health care and feed them. Like, well, we do that already. All right, good to go.
Right now, man, you look at him. I feel like after the State of the Union address, he really kind of changed up his whole entire approach. First, he was trying to be more, balanced and allow like other people who are not just his core base of audience, which is Anglo-Saxons, to be included in his party. You know what I mean? I think he was doing that at first. I think once he saw how like coherent and how impactful Biden's State of the Union address speech was and how kind of the tide had turned, he went straight back to his base. He went straight back out to throwing out red meat. You look at his January 6th, free the January 6th hostages, that remark. Now he's made this remark about how the Civil War could have been negotiated. Who's he talking to?
Well, no, because he has a whole bunch of yes men around him. That's what's going on. He doesn't have anybody, and nobody can tell him any different.
Tell him shit, man.
So he's gonna keep doing what he's been doing. And then Joe Biden over here talk about, immigrants built America. I said, in shackles? Like, what are you talking about, bro? We know who built America.
I mean, at the end of the day, I want to know what he meant by that. That's not for me to say that. What does he mean? Does he mean like from an agricultural
It's because when he gave his
standpoint?
speech, when he gave a State of the Union speech, he called them illegals. And so he was trying to cover up for that. He's like, yeah, I don't mean to call them illegals. That was insulting. Immigrants built America.
I mean, who did he call illegals? During the speech, I'm like, well, if they were illegal, some of them are illegal. A lot of people are coming here illegally. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
If you say an illegal, you're illegal.
7.6 million.
You're illegally here, period. Plain and simple. You know what I mean?
How you feel about that? I think people should, at first I was like, yeah, everyone should have the chance to come into America and live the American dream. But I live in America. There ain't no dream no more. So I'm just saying, like, people should come in legally.
I mean, that's everybody. I feel that way too. It's not so much as about that. I think that they're just getting to a point now where they're angry about who is coming in. We discussed this already. I think they're angry about the color of the people coming in, and they're like, oh, they don't bring anything to this country. Most people didn't bring anything to this country.
They always say that. Oh, my grandfather came in here and he brought just the clothes on his back.
No, but honestly, if you look at the charts in America, like who's like from the people who are like the wealth gaps in America, where they're at, of course, like you got blacks and we're like pretty much on the bottom of like how much net worth or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but we spend almost the most. We spend $1 trillion a year.
You got whites. I think they're like either like sixth or something like that. I think Mexicans are right after us, right before us, or something like that. But then from there, there's like Indian Americans from India. You got a bunch of other classes of people who are people of color, who are actually doing decent, like in this country. So I think most times my biggest thing is when people talk about immigrants or illegal immigrants, they get mad at them. But I feel like most times they're like, oh, what about the homeless? To me, man, you're a homeless person in America. You've lived here your whole life. You kind of had your damn chance, man. We've all been here for a minute. I know that sounds kind of fucked up. It's the truth,
it's kind of fucked up.
No, it's not, man. It's not.
That's kind of mean. Think about it,
not at all. Let me
explain. Look, if I become homeless, like I'm an immigrant, they're letting the immigrants come in. They're giving them free food, free housing. They're giving them money.
That person has a job and they're taking care of their business because they most of them came here to work.
I feel on hard times in America and I got to be homeless, but this immigrant can walk past me and get all the stuff.
You know how many programs are out there for people in this country, man. We all know.
But you can't afford nothing.
If you want to be homeless in this country, you're going to be homeless in this country. That's kind of what it is in this country. We all know this.
There are people that are homeless on
Come on, man. We pretend like we don't understand what's going on. I'm not saying that all of them. There's a lot of mental health. We don't deal with that enough. I understand that. But we all know that there's a lot of programs out there for people to seek help in this country. We've been given that opportunity. You've been here for a long time. I'm not trying to say forget about those people, but man, if I got a person who comes over here who's an immigrant and I give him help, and within a year he has a job, a house, not saying he owns the house, but he's renting a house, he's taking care of it. He'll work anywhere. Most of them will.
Yeah, but I mean here and also, let's say for example for Washington, I went down to one building one time and I was like, hey, I need help with this. I need help with rental assistance and electricity. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, have you got a shut off bill yet? Nope. Have you got a eviction notice yet? Nope. When you get all that, come to us. Okay. I gotta be on the verge of losing everything for you to help me. But if I say, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be on the verge. But if I come into this country illegally, you giving me $1,000 a week. I got a place to live. You give me food stamps. Of course I'm gonna thrive. Everywhere when I can't, you give me $1,000, I'm gonna send it back.
$1,000 a week, man. We sitting here, we're making these people like they're getting millions of it. Some lady I saw online, she was like, "They're gonna give an immigrant $400,000." I'm like, man, we just saying anything right now.
$400,000.
They give an immigrant $1,000 a month, man. That ain't to me, man. That's keeping
$1,000 a week.
They ain't giving them $1,000.
They give them $1,000 a week.
I don't believe that, man. You got to show me that right there. You got to show me that
$1,000. Why would they give them $100? They know what country they live in.
I'm not saying $100. I'm saying they might even give them 2 G's. I don't know, but that ain't really no money. Sometimes when you first get here, I'm gonna give you an opportunity. Most people who we see were people who came around saying illegally, but most of them are immigrants. What are they doing? Driving taxis. Not knocking people who drive taxis. They're working, doing a lot of our landscaping work out here. They're trying to do something. Most people who came here illegally, there's gonna be a lot of them who probably got in trouble too. Shit like that goes on. But most of them who come here, we all know they're trying to find a better life for themselves. They're gonna go and get to work. I want to support that person. I have no problem with it. People don't really understand that immigrants are what's really keeping America thriving when it comes to birth rates, when it comes to the direction of our country is heading. People don't know that other countries are heading in a different direction because their birth rates are fucked. We talk about China. China's fucked. They're about to lose half their population in the next 30 years. Half. This is why China will not surpass America in GDP. It'll be India before it'll ever be China. Watch. That's what I'm just trying to tell you, man. I'm not saying we need to have an influx of illegals in this country. I'm not saying that at all. But to me, I'd rather put my support. I'm not saying I'd rather support them both. But if it were up to me and you're like, hey, do I want to give this illegal anything? Yeah, give them an opportunity. They're going to go put in some work somewhere. Trust me. I see it. And I know all of you see it. We drive different places. This isn't to be drive by Home Depot. These people are out there trying to get a job.
Here's just a simple example.
Why ain't the homeless people sitting out there trying to get a job?
Check it. They're giving the migrants $350 minimum for food stamps, right? The migrants, but the regular citizens here in New York only getting $291 a month.
So that extra $61,
that makes a difference.
I'm not saying that
it's a box of Kellogg's,
I'm
2
not
things
saying
of milk.
But I mean, okay, so let me say this. The biggest thing too that you have to think about though is a person starting with nothing, absolutely nothing, needs way more. That's just the truth, man. We both know that.
If you think about it, they both got nothing.
No, not really, man. If I already got salt, pepper, some other stuff. You know what I mean? Like I got condiments, I got other things. I'm not starting with nothing.
I got salt and pepper too. I stole it all from McDonald's. That doesn't make a difference. Everyone should be getting the same amount. You shouldn't just be giving to people that aren't. Hey, I just flew into America.
Agreeing with what they're doing with that. That's not me agreeing. I want to be clear about that.
I mean, Americans, you should
at all.
Before you take care of the people coming into this country, you need to take care of the people in this country.
I mean, Jesus,
don't make it think like it's an opportunity.
What point in time do the people who are in this country need to stand up too? Because this is what welfare was not. This is not me saying about welfare. My family, things like that, have been through. I support the welfare system 110% in this country. This is not me saying that. I'm very much all for it because I understand people need a leg up in life. Sometimes you need that foot up. Motherfuckers be on it for 20 years, man.
Well, that's because they don't want to do nothing with their life.
So this is what I'm saying, man. Like, this isn't me saying it about all. This is me saying it about there's people who are like.
Well, laws need to change too.
Of it, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, this is just like Section 8.
But I'm like, so let's give a person a chance who really wants to do something with it. You know what I mean? Like, give them an opportunity. Fuck it. If they're here,
if you're giving them state assistance, you should give them a state job. Make them go clean up the streets or something. You got to work.
Shit, I bet you. Okay, whenever you drive by, this is me again. This is drive by Home Depot. Who do you see out there? You see homeless people out there trying to get a job? You see them on a fucking corner with a sign. Trying to.
No, I've seen two different things before. I've seen one guy on the corner, he's begging with a sign, and I saw another guy on the corner, and he's spinning the sign, making the money. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You go places. That's my point, man. I'm not against, like, homeless people I don't have a problem with that. I very much feel like we do need to support and do as much as we possibly can. But man, what the fuck, man? We see who's coming here trying to work, and we see who's like, hey, man, I'm a homeless vet, whatever. I'm not knocking that either, man.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody could work, they wouldn't be able to afford nowhere, though. That's the whole thing. You giving people free housing and all this shit. If you don't make America looks like a Ford Taurus, a 1994 Ford Taurus on 20-inch rims.
They were
That's exactly what it is.
A lot of the people were pushed into those cities too, and the cities had to respond. Period. They did. They sent 100,000 people, I think it was, to New York. 100,000 migrants to New York. So what you're forced to respond, what are you gonna do?
Put them back.
Come on, man. We both know that's not gonna happen.
I mean, you could. I mean, you bust them everywhere else. Hey, get back on the bus. We got somewhere for you to go.
I'm just saying.
They're like, this is just where I came from.
Not gonna happen. So they did. I feel like they did the very best that they possibly could. They said $53 million. Everybody flipped out. Oh my God, they gave them $53 million. They're trying to make sure they're not climbing in your window. That's like what I feel about welfare too. I'd rather give a person that little $400, $600 check, whatever they're getting, rather than them climbing through my motherfucking window. Now you better start thinking about that. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is that's how I look at welfare.
I'm saying that's how it's new paint, new rug. So, what do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about all the topics we talked about today? Like, share, comment, follow. Let us know how you feel. Uncommon Courtesy. That was the show.